Hello. You signal me to start, okay? Hello. Good evening. Welcome back. Sorry for the inch. It was due to some circumstances beyond our control, but we're back now. Talking about Superlife, I was before the break. I was talking about that XTC30 is a plant-based stem cell. And when we are talking about stem cell, we're talking about a mother cell, a cell that can replicate other cells, a cell that can become every other 220 different kinds of cells in the human body. Just like we have the human stem cell, we have the plant stem cell, we have the animal stem cell. So now we are talking about using plant to treat man. Just like the local pharmacologist, we want to take plant, do research, know the plant that can heal a particular ailment. But this one, a selection of 6 blend of trees that has high potency in healing properties were selected, and the stem cell were collectively gathered together and used to form XTC30, which is Superlife Total Care for a minimum of 30 days. Now, we all know that the organogram of the human body is the cell. The cell gives birth to the tissue to the organ, and the organ to the system. So, what Superlife XTC30 does, it treats and cures ailment that has affected the cells in the human body. If someone is having glaucoma or cataract, it is the cells in the eye region that is affected, that is not causing the short-sightedness or the long-sightedness. So likewise, if you're talking about someone having cancer, that means part of the body cells is already cancerous. So there's already cancerous cells in the body. So what Superlife XT30, this plant-based stem cell does is that it builds new healthy cells and remove and flush out all the dead cells in the human body, or remove all the cancerous cells, replace it with new healthy cells. This is how it works. So automatically, if the cells in the pancreas region, like for a diabetic patient, that the pancreas is faulty, no longer induce or produce or secrete its own insulin to control the sugar intake. What this XT30 does is that it goes straight to that pancreas and build new healthy cells. And once the cells are healthy, automatically the tissue, the organ, and the system of that man become healthy, because the system is the man. The system is the man. So this is what Superlife XT30 does. And Superlife XT30 has stayed for the text of time that anybody or people that have used it have testified, not one, not two. If you go to YouTube and just type Superlife, you'll see testimonies from across the globe that will pop up on your screen. So this is how the Superlife XT30 works. It works through the cellular level, because man is a cellular being. Man is a biological being. So no matter what the orthodox is giving to you, XT30 helps those orthodox drugs to work better and quicker and far more effective. So what are we saying? Superlife XT30 is a renowned plant-based stem cell that treats the body from the cellular level. Now, some person will ask, is it for only the sick persons that need this XT30? The answer is no. The answer is no. We all are, whether you are healthy or you are sick, we all have cells in our body. And these cells cannot tell you that they are becoming depleted, that they are weak or they are sick, until ailment surfaces. So we shouldn't wait for AMET to surface before we start running to get STD30, or before we start running to go to the hospital to be hospitalized. What we are advocating is that treat the body, manage the body, equip the body with enough cells, healthy cells for that matter, so that the body does not break down. So STD30 does that work for the man. So even if man is not sick, I will say, but I'm not sick now. What do I need the STD30 for? Our lifestyle. Our lifestyle. What about the food we eat? It's still part of our lifestyle. Our hobby, our occupation, our career. It's part of our lifestyle. What about our age? As we age, you know that cell naturally dies as we age, and those cells, once they die, they are being flushed out from our system, and new healthy cells are being born. That is the work of the human stem cell in the body, because except that new cells are born. But as those processes getting repeated, man is aging. The ability for the new cells to now grow will never become weak, and it's also decline. So that is where STD30 now comes in. Because when STD30 comes in, it helps to fortify your body to build new healthy cells. I was talking about lifestyle. You know that a lot of us, the kind of food, that's why I even wrote the food here, the kind of tedious job we do, the kind of ultraviolet ray we expose ourselves to, the kind of harsh weather that African continent have. What about the lifestyle? We're talking about food of coke. We're talking about formalin. We're talking about even using sniper to preserve beans and those crayfish that don't sell us. What about we that not eat them, our system? Do they have man to tell us that, you are giving me sniper to eat? The food to us, we don't even know how they were processed. There are a lot of frozen food that has formalin that are used to preserve it, to make it even big. Even fertilizer. We don't know about fertilizer. What about these agricultural extension workers that are not even educating our farmers, our illiterate farmers, those, apart from the selected few that are literate, that know the fertilizer application that is needed in a particular crop that is planted, and how to even apply it. But what about the ignorant one? What about the illiterate one? They know that the more fertilizer, the more yield, not minding the consequences that it will have on the health of the people that will eat this fertilizer that is not inside those crops. So who are the end user? We humans are the end user. You and I are the end user. By the time we eat this food that is having too much of fertilizer that was used to grow this food, what's the end product? We get these crops, we get this fruit, we eat them on daily basis. Even when we cook them, we cook all the good nutrients away, we eat the chaff. Then the cells, because the human body has about 200 different kinds of cells. Now, the food we eat is supposed to feed all these cells. We eat to feed cells. So we don't eat to be satisfied. Your belly can be full, but your cells are not full. So it's a different ball game. So what we are saying is that give the cells the food they want. The food they want is plant-based stem cell, and which is the same thing as the food we eat. But the process of preserving, let me even start. The process of growing this crop, the process of harvesting this crop, the process of processing these crops, the process of even marketing and storing these crops, again the end product, the process of even cooking this food for us. This plant is supposed to give us the nutrient we need to feed our 220 different kinds of cells. But through the process, from the process of planting to the final end product of consuming, all this process, we don't have control over majority of them. So we now end up eating garbage. We eat garbage in and we take it garbage out through our anus. And the cells are not well fed. Little wonder you see different kind of ailment. A man of 40, early 40s already complaining of prostate enlargement. It wasn't so in our forefathers' time. They look healthy, hale and hearty, strong, even still going to the farm. Wake up very early. 5 a.m. they're already off to farm. By 6 p.m. they are returning. Sometimes they even eat nothing but fruit, raw fruit, fresh fruit, not preserved fruit, not processed and chemicalized fertilizer fruit. These are the reason why our lifestyle is different from our forefather lifestyle. So what is the remedy? The remedy is for us to go back to plant-based stem cell. And S30 is a stem cell based product that has ability to regenerate, to rejuvenate, to replenish your cells in your human body. So any damaged cells that has affected any part of the body that is making the body to malfunction, not to work maximally, it is this S30 that will build back those damaged cells, and the man will be okay. That's why I said, if the cells are healthy, automatically the tissue will become healthy. Automatically, if the tissue is healthy, the organs will be healthy. If the organs are healthy, the system will be healthy. We have a series of testimony. People that have used this product for, let's take a scenario. A man is having hypertension, is having diabetes, and is now having glaucoma. 3 elements in one body. Maybe in all, it is the diabetes that is giving the patient more concern. The hypertension and the glaucoma may not even be worrisome. But the diabetes, don't eat this food, eat this food. Forbid this food, eat this food. And the patient takes X6030, our flashing product, Superlife Total Care 30, just for the diabetes. In the process of using the X30 to treat diabetes, the cells are being regained, are being renewed, are being rebuilt and rejuvenated. The hypertension will be settled. The glaucoma will be settled, because all boils down to cells in the human body. So X30 is not a respecter of ailment, but a respecter of cells. And X30 can be summarized as GPX. Once it enters into the body, it searches for where the damaged cells are in the human body and starts replicating and rebuilding and replenishing them, rejuvenating the cells back to how it works before the exit cells depleted or was damaged and became sick. This is how X30 works. And little wonder you see it's working miracle, and they coin it God's wonders implant. This is how it's just a simple a summary of how Superlife X30 works. It's a plant-based stem cell-based product that has the ability to reproduce healthy cells for the human body. X30 once is taken, I will come to that in mode of administration and how it's being used. When you take it under the tongue and you after swallowing you take water, you discover that as the stem cell enter into the bloodstream, as it enters into the bloodstream, the central nervous system will recognize that a stem cell has entered into the body, and a signal is taken to where all the cells have been damaged. I will tell some persons, I was going to tell you that, but I have taken this S30. I took 1 pack, I took 2 packs, but I have not seen the result. Yes, you have not seen the result. It is not a plant-based stem cell, or S30 is not an orthodox drug that you just see the result immediately. No, you can take paracetamol immediately and the headache will just subside. That is paracetamol. That is orthodox drug for you. And that paracetamol treats just the headache and does not interfere with any other part of the body or any other ailment. Paracetamol cannot treat liver diseases. Maybe Livolin will handle that. Paracetamol cannot go to the eye to go and treat the eye defect. Paracetamol cannot go to the prostate region. Paracetamol cannot go to the diabetic region to go and treat them. But this is just like paracetamol treating only the headache. The reverse is the case when we are talking about S30. S30 is a mother cell that can give birth to other cells and walk around the clock, walk around the body, the human body. That's why you see a lot of persons are coming now to say, I never hear say one product you go fit take care of more than one ailment. How is it possible? This is how it's possible, because it is possible because the cells at what makes up the human body. If the cells are being affected positively, automatically it will follow suit. The tissue will become okay. If the cells and the tissue are healthy, automatically the organs of the body will become healthy. And once the cells, the tissue, the organs are now healthy, the system does not have option but to follow suit. The system becomes healthy. So this is why the product SC30 can manage more than one ailment. We have recorded more than 130 different terminal ailments that this product have handled, not just managing, but permanently cured and reversed the irreversible. Testimonies have abound. We have used it for a prostate enlargement patient that cannot even hold urine, almost going for a catheter. But with this SC30, the cells came back to life. Is it the sickle cell anemia patient? Give them Superlife SC30 and Superlife Immune Care, which is the XIC. The two blend help this patient not to fall into crisis again. Yes, you cannot turn the XSS genotype to become AS, but there's an assurance that the crisis that happened to that sickle cell anemia patient will not happen. Fully healed, the immune system collapsing will not surface again, because the Superlife Immune Care, which is our XIC, will help to boost the immune system, while the SC30 will help to lubricate all the cells well through the blood arteries. That is what SC30 and SIC will do for you. Or is it the diabetic patient? Combine SC30 and XNC together for the diabetic patient. The sugar level will drop drastically. Yes, it will drop, because even prolonged use of these diabetic drugs from the orthodox, a lot of us, we have discovered that it now even has side effects in the eye of the patient. They keep using drugs. From there, they now even introduce insulin injection for the patient that is having diabetes. Prolonged use. Before you know it, the patient is not even suffering from eye defect. But if you introduce Superlife SC30 and Superlife Neuron Care, which is XC30 and XNC, that sugar level will drop, and not just dropping that it now stop the product before the person will go back to the high sugar level. Once it drops for good, and the person come back to normalcy. So this is how SC30 work. Now, I was talking about how to administer the product as a wrap-up. SC30 is taken sublingually. That means you pour the sachet. It's a sachet. It's powdery. It's a sachet and it's powdery. So you use scissors to cut the sachet. You pour it under the tongue. Raise up the head. Then raise up the tongue. Pour it under the tongue. So that vein under the tongue is the sublingual gland. So by the time the product, the SC30 powder, is now resting on your sublingual gland, your sublingual gland is connected to your human bloodstream. So by the time it absorbs gradually, that's why after pouring under the tongue, you wait for 30 minutes for it to absorb. Because it may dissolve within 5 to 10 minutes. Fine. It's not a dissolvation we are looking for. We are looking for the absorption. So by the time it absorbs within that 25 to 30 minutes, you now swallow. After swallowing the content, again, once you pour it under the tongue, it may gather saliva in your mouth. Don't swallow the saliva. Allow the saliva to mix up with the powder. By the time the powder and the saliva is mixed up, then you can see that absorption will be taking place. Absorption will be taking place gradually. Within that 25 minutes to 30 minutes of the absorption, the patient must have gained enough stem cell. So gradually, as he absorbs, the patient is taking it for that 30 minutes, he swallows it. Let me use time as illustration. You wake up first thing in the morning on an empty stomach without drinking water, without brushing, or without eating. First thing as you wake up, take the SRT. Let's take a scenario. We took it by 5 a.m. in the morning. You pour it under the tongue. By 5:30, you swallow. Both the saliva and the content, you swallow by 5:30. That's 30 minutes time. After swallowing, you now wait for another 30 minutes. This 30 minutes is now 6 a.m. Then you drink your warm water. After 30 minutes of swallowing, you drink your warm water. Then after drinking warm water, you now wait for 1 hour or more before you can now take your first meal for the day. And mind you, taking SC30 does not stop you from taking your orthodox drug. No, we don't say stop orthodox drug. It does not stop it. We help it to even work faster and better. So SC30 help you to manage any ailment, especially the terminal ailment that are defined orthodox drug, especially terminal ailment, that the patient has been using drugs upon drugs upon drugs from one orthodox hospital to one orthodox hospital, from one amputation to one operation to one dialysis to one insulin injection, different ailments with different mode of treatment. But with this SC30, there is no more chemotherapy. Yes, for the cancer patient, no more chemotherapy. Use SC30 to regenerate and fight that cancer cells in the body, flush out the cancerous cells and replace them with new healthy cells. First thing in the morning, that's when you take your SC30. And before these 30 days, your body must have started gaining and rebuilding of cells. So it is not a magic. Some persons say, I've taken two packs. 2 packs of SC30 is for a month dosage, because one pack contains 15 sachets. So 2 packs will contain 30 sachets for 30 days. So taking only 2 packs is not enough for a patient that is treating a terminal ailment. Take a scenario of a patient having cancer stage 1, and you say 2 packs of SC30 will remove the cancerous cells. No. Even in the medical hospital, will the doctor tell you that within a month you will be discharged as a cancer-free patient from the medical hospital? No. So they manage the patient until he gets better, even before they will even discharge some from admission. So the same thing applies when you are using SC30 and you are using a plant-based stem cell, which is SC30. It takes time for the body to start rebuilding all the cells. But the advantage you have is that once the cells are fully replaced, rebuilt, replenished, and rejuvenated, all the tissue, the organ, the system will follow suit, and the patient will now be permanently cured, not managed. So any patient that is suffering from terminal ailment and that have even defied those drugs that they are not seeing any relief, come and try SC30. And they said a trial will convince you. Thank you very much. Okay, next week we'll be hosting you again on another episode of our Superlife XC30 product presentation. Until then, see you next week. Thank you very much. Yeah, thank God.